Hello my friends, this is Wolfgang with Tools for Ascension, and today my gift to you is a meditation, a guided meditation designed to help you release, subtle causes for your back pain, as well afterwards, a guided meditation for deep relaxation, where you go through the whole body and just, relax and release as much as you can. Okay, so let's just, sit back and relax and smile, stack your spine and tuck in your chin a little bit, just play around with it till you have optimal kind of chi flow, from the spine through the neck into the top of the head and out. And now, we invite and connect to absolute source, the absolute supreme original being. And we also invite and connect to our highest self. Smile, and invite your inner child. Smile like an idiot, and your spirit guides, all those higher dimensionals and from your star nations, old colleagues and loved ones. Yeah, and all your incarnations that can help and support you now in this session and in this lifetime. Yeah, the ones coming from unconditional love, especially the higher dimensionals, that support human ascension. Yes. And of course, fifth dimensional Gaia, and Milky Way galaxy. And we send them all love, and we ask that everything that happens in and from the session is going to be for the highest good and divine harmony with the most benevolent outcomes, and that we are completely safe. There is no deceptions, that there are no booby traps that hurt us, that there's no transferred bad karma or cords, throughout any, incarnation, any time, any dimensions or locality. Amen, 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 amen. And we ask that everything that happens, from this session and during this session is going to be for the highest good and divine harmony with the most benevolent outcomes, and that we are using our time and energy in the most effective way. Amen. And now smile like an idiot and, shape-shift your spine and your legs and even your arms and fingers into big roots, and just send them lovingly into the earth, Mother. And let her love just rise up in you. She's already in fifth dimensional consciousness. So you just open up to her and just let her love rise in you, relax you, optimize you. Yeah. And on the inhale you open up to her love, and on the exhale you kind of center your love, your appreciation, through the roots, just like a cloud of love. And then on the inhale, you probably also will perceive her echo coming back again, and you going back and forth. So this is joyful and calming. Good. Now let her love flow into your heart, and your heart just opens like a rose blossom that's in perfect condition, that has just enough wonderful sunlight. and all this nourishment and earth chi is flowing into her, and she just perks up, and just so many petals seem to be opening. It's like energy streams, and they're kind of moving a little bit, more like sea animals, in the water, like a little floaty. And there's also subtle emanations from this heart chakra, more subtle, like a smell of the rose, very, very subtle and sweet. Open up to those sensations. And now you just let that love rise in you out the top of the head and above the head. And you imagine the Milky Way galaxy kind of where probably your ceiling is, and just reach all the way to Milky Way galaxy with your breath. And on the inhale you open up to the love, the unconditional love that's sent to you. None of the bad stuff, only the good stuff. Source is protecting us. So just allow that love to flow in, and we ask that any cords or implants or blocks that have been placed into us, even through cheating contracts, even those, be cleared throughout our creation, as long as it is for the highest good and divine harmony with the most benevolent outcomes. And please remove any booby traps on those contracts. Amen, 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 amen. Just keep on breathing, and you probably notice how your energy kind of jacks up a little bit, gets better, more flowy, more fluffy. And now just open up to this love flowing into the top of the head, into you, over you, from Milky Way galaxy, all those billions of beings that love unconditionally, that come in and over your head, your shoulders, into your heart, the arms, the hands, especially relax those wrists, and let go of the tension in your fingers. Now it just flows into your legs, and you just let go of your legs, and it seems your feet just sink into the ground. And we just welcome these waves of loving chi that flow over and through you now, and smile like an idiot. And now we ask Source and his expansions or her expansions, like Archangel Michael or like anybody else that's qualified, like Lord Shiva, for those in the Hindu tradition or yogic tradition, to remove again as much as possible any Anunnaki, Draco, Grey or other predatory cords and devices and other technology from every level of our being, any incarnation, all times, dimensions, now. Amen, amen, amen. We did a double cleanse here, and now just, ask for your high self. It could be your male or female or androgynous high self. It's your higher consciousness. It's a representation of your higher consciousness, a projection, a hologram to communicate with you, right? They don't need flesh and bones on the higher dimensions, right? So, we asked, for your higher self to manifest in front of you, now, amen. And most of you will feel a presence now. And some of you will see a presence now. Some of them will see a humanoid form, and some of you will see just a light being, like an oval light or like a violet light. And so just on the inhale, just allow the love to come into your heart. And on the exhale, just send your love to their center. And just harmonize, and your vibration should be rising fast now, and your love and subtlety should be increasing quite rapidly now. Just enjoy this. You're becoming all floaty and giddy. Just smile like an idiot. And now we're just gonna go through a long list of possible causes. And let's see if you find some stuff that we didn't know about and maybe releases. Okay, number one. Do we have back pain and back issues due to nutritional deficiencies? This could be not enough calcium, or not enough jello or cartilage or glucosamine, Yes or no? And if yes, ask, let's say, would jello help? Would cartilage help? Would glucosamine help? Or general mineral supplements, would they help? And now, let's ask the high self if a lot of this back pain is due to inflammation. Yes or no? And now ask if any inflammation suppressants like turmeric capsules, ginger capsules, or cayenne capsules would help you, and maybe ask, yes or no. And then also how much. And now we ask how much of our back pains is due to trauma on our back, due to a lack of support. Maybe parents, maybe it's mates, maybe it's the universe, everything goes wrong. Ask yes or no. And how much of this is from past lifetimes? Lots or little? And we ask now our high self and our helpers, our spirit guides and source, to please, remove this illusion, of not being supported and lack, from your subconscious and throughout creations now. Amen, 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 amen. And now ask, how much of your back pain and problems comes just from hard labor, And if it's from hard labor, ask how much of that is like from past lifetime. Is it mostly from past lifetimes or not? And now we ask that all the trauma from past lifetime, hard labor, all the stuck emotions and the pain, please be transmuted and that all the stuck soul fragments and ghosts that are still affecting us with this, please be brought home, into the higher dimensions. Let they be cleared from any entrapment, anything that holds them here, and then be brought home. And personally, I like to ask Lord Ganesh to do so, but also, the Cosmic Christ is very good at this. Whoever you prefer, the Bodhisattvas also do a great job. So they just asked for volunteers. Amen, 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 amen. And if you feel an upflow of energy, this is probably the ghosts leaving, or the soul fragments leaving, going into the higher dimensions. And some of you probably also see this. And now let's ask how much of our back pain is due to spinal injuries, from this or past lifetimes, due to falling off a horse or a cliff or a wall or, a bridge or a roof. Ask now. And now we ask that all the soul fragments that are still stuck from this trauma, please be brought home, and that this trauma please be cleared throughout all creation. And with all creation we mean throughout all incarnations, all time, all dimensions, and all localities. Amen, 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 amen. Alright, and now let's ask how much of our back pain is due to inherent weaknesses, in our DNA. Lots or little. And inherent weaknesses is basically ancestral trauma. Many times it's through curses. And so we ask the highest helpers to please clear those throughout all creation. Amen, amen, amen. And upgrade the programming to the divine blueprint. Amen, 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 amen. Now. And now ask whether your back pain is also due to suppressed pain and emotions. Like many times, we could not express our pain. Let's say, for instance, if you watch the movie Jackass, and every time those guys hurt themselves, they'll rub this plot, right? And it means they basically, work with the chi. There, besides pressing to make sure there is no blood flowing into the damaged tissue, and they also laugh. Laughing is a cleansing, is a defense and cleansing. It also creates endorphins and all kinds of stuff that probably would be illegal if you make a pill from it. So, so in those cases, the jackass people they release, they express the pain and release, but in so many cultures, it was considered like as weak, to show the pain, to cry out the pain, like you were stoic. And so, this can really get stuck in the body. And so, we asked, whether we have this, and of course we have that kind of stuff, and so we asked to please have this released throughout all creation now. Amen, 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 amen. Now, while this is clearing, let us ask whether our back pain is also due in larger part due to inherited stuck emotions, like suppressed energy for whatever reason. Sometimes we were suppressing our lust. Sometimes we were suppressing our anger. Sometimes we were suppressing our fear. Not showing those emotions. It's not appropriate. It's dangerous or other reasons. And so sometimes we even judged certain chakras, or shamed certain chakras or parts of the bodies, right? For instance, the lower chakras, were in some cultures maybe considered as vulgar, binding to the earth, entangling you through sexual activities, etc. There was a big judgment on them. And so we suppressed those too, and this can affect the chi flow in the spine. So you ask if you have those kind of things. And now we also ask that this then also please be cleared throughout all creation. Amen, 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 amen. And while this is going on, a lot of back pain and low chi in the back comes from backstabbing. Whether it's the local group consciousness, the clan, the fraternity, or your co-workers that gossiping over you or throwing you under the bus, or your relatives. This is all backstabbing energy, but many times it's due to envy and jealousy. And so there's no need to carry this around with you, especially if you're like beautiful or successful or very happy. There's a lot of this energy, because the dark ones don't like those things and they feel provoked. So, so we ask Creator and the helpers to please clear this from us now. Amen, 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 throughout creations. So when we put this on others, we probably most likely did, also have those removed. Amen, 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 amen. And now, while the clearing is still going on, let's ask whether we also have back pain and back issues because of, let's say, spinal cord cutting injuries, muscles, through cutting, stabbing, assassinations, things like that, and also let me tell you as a hinter, many times, wounds, they pile up in the same place, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. It seems like, trauma attracts more trauma. It seems to be something weak in the energy field, and somehow, those blows or trauma just keep coming into those places. So don't get confused about that. Especially your healers. Mm-hmm. And now let's ask, whether you still have any back trauma from arrows, lances, and clubs. I've experienced some past lifetime with clubs where the whole spine was just kinked. Yeah, so ask whether you have trauma from that, and we ask it to please be cleared for us and for those that we did those those things throughout all creation now. Amen, 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 amen. Oh God, yeah, I had a lot of stuff on that. Oh, this may take a while. Whew. And this might take some time to clear all, so you probably experience all kind of cracking and energy moving and sensation and twitching. Go along with the twitching and spinal movement. This is for purification. That's good. Don't be scared. If it can get quite extreme, that's all right. It's just trying to express itself through the body, and then, the energies can leave. Consider it like a duck flapping its wing after like a small fight with another duck. All right, so let's ask now if we still carry significant trauma like sustained from wrestling, Aikido, karate, just martial arts and generally, many times, there's a spinal injury, and back injury and just other trauma, from those things. If somebody gives you a good karate chop into the back with all the chi coming in from somebody that has been celibate for 10 years, that can do some damage throughout their lifetimes. So, so we ask to have that cleared, for us and for those, to which we affected those things. Please do so now, highest, throughout all creation. Amen, 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 amen. And we're really going here into the dark shadow sides, cleaning out, old pizza boxes and dead rats. So let's ask whether we also have trauma and back problems, back pain, back problems, because of certain types of torture. Like many times, there was hanging. You were hanging, with, on your wrists, with, in your back, or they had you hog-tied and, or sideways, or you were standing, ringed to a wall and it would hurt, and you had to stand all day long. You could only sleep for 10 minutes and then it hurt and you woke up. So, there can be significant trauma from these type of being tied up in a dungeon kind of things. And so we asked whether we are affected by this, and affected other with this. And now we ask the highest to please, 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 please clear all the stuff, all this trauma and cords and anatas throughout our creation. Amen, 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 amen. Yes, and there, as we're here on torturing, there is also this form of, there was quartering, there was stretching on stretches, and there were people were tied to wheels, and, the limbs were broken. So let's ask whether you still carry any trauma from those type of tortures. Amen. And whether you also affected trauma to others through those type of tortures. Amen. And we ask this, all those tortured souls, please be brought into heavens, they be liberated. That to be shown how they just can forgive and then be released from the karmic entanglement. Show them the healing, then bring them up, please. Amen, 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 amen. And also release all the curses that were, implanted as well as thrown by the victims or the victors, both sides. Please clear them all. Yeah, otherwise this is going to be a very sticky thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And while this is going on, let's ask whether, you have been the victim or maybe the giver of flocking, whipping with sticks or other implements like whips, and there are different types, it can be going from the bastonate on the feet, which also really screws up your meridian, because your whole body is represented there, to the back, which screws up, your major meridians, and then all the nerves that go out there, and then all the muscle damage, and then the infection, and you can't even treat it yourself because it's on your back, right? So many of us probably carry oodles of trauma. Let's just ask, do you carry trauma of this, yes or no? And did you affect others with trauma like this, yes or no? And let's ask for forgiveness, let's forgive, and let's ask the highest to please clear these trauma from all creation and update everything to the divine blueprint. Amen, 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 amen. Now, let's ask whether, your back is still affected, by the misalignment of the subtle bodies, due to astral manipulation. Yes or no? And if it is, ask if it is by the draconians, yes or no? And now also ask if it's by the so-called Anunnaki, yes or no? And we ask if this is a transgression on free will, sneaky contracts, cheating contracts, or just malevolent taking advantage of. We like to take those cases to the highest courts of spiritual justice, and we like to have these trauma cleared and all the contracts, bogus contracts cleared, especially with all the booby traps. We ask that those be cleared first throughout all creation, and then everything else. Now, amen, 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 amen. And the reasons why contracts are being cancelled is, or we can cancel contracts, is because it's, in most cases it's based on trickery. They are, it was not completely delivered what was promised, and it was not completely revealed of what would be taken in exchange. So these are cheating contracts. They weren't fair, and that's why we asked the highest to clear them. And also any booby traps attached to this. Amen, 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 amen. And while this is going on, let's ask whether you have cords attached into the back of the spine, all along the back of the spine. Ask whether they are reptilian cords, yes or no. And ask whether they are Anunnaki cords, yes or no. You might want to see them, that's up to you. They're kind of scary looking, especially the Anunnaki one, so that's up to you. Let your high self decide whether it's good for you or not. Maybe just get a representation that's not so scary. So a lot of back pain is also to just stealing of energy, life force. It's like stealing of money or electricity from a neighborhood. It's going to affect the neighborhood. So let's ask whether your back pain is strongly affected by the stealing of life force, of your talents, of your resources. Whether it's like, on any level. Yes or no? And are you doing this to others also? Yes or no? And this might be in parallel incarnations. And we ask that this whole stealing business please be cleared up, from your side. Where you steal from others, we like to have that cleared. And from others to your side, we have that cleared too throughout our creations. Amen, 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 amen. And now ask whether your back is affected by like implants, like voodoo doll pins, glasses, spikes, or any other, visualizations, of the kind of voodoo, primitive kind of visualization style, yes or no? Or even through mummies, yeah, that can be done with mummies too, yes or no? Ask whether you're doing this to others, yes or no. And we ask the Supreme to just clear this now throughout our creation. Amen, 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 amen. So many times, you have to ask very specific. We can't just say, hey, clear all black magic machinery. That doesn't work. That's kind of like the parents doing the homework for the kids. So we have to go through it, right? So let's just ask, so do we have black magic astral devices or thought forms? Like chains that are affecting us, yes or no? And we asked for a clearing. Now, amen. Now, do we have any implants or cords or other devices through which anger or another negative emotions like bad karma or low chi is being transferred to us, where we're kind of being used as a dumping ground for toxic material? Yes or no? Are we doing it to others? And we ask Source to please, clear this on each side of the fence. Amen, 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 amen. And as we're talking about back pain, sometimes, there were certain magical ropes or even physical ropes that were magically imbued, that kind of hold your subtle body in weird positions that are, it's a form of torture that can cause back pain. So are there certain ropes or cages or casts or molds or clamps or rings that keep us in ways that it hurts our back, our body, yes or no? And have we been doing this to others in past lifetimes or this lifetimes, yes or no? And we like to have this cleared, on both sides of the fence by the highest. Please do so now. Amen, 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 amen. So of course, back problems also come, when certain access points, are blocked to the spinal energy. There's the coccyx and of course the crown chakra, which are the physical access points. And of course also the atlas, where the spine connects to the skull. So let's ask, whether we have any kind of crown chakra implants or skull caps or rods or needles or glass or seeds or plates or metal spikes or screws, that still affect the health and well-being of our back, yes or no? And we like to have this cleared, for us as well as for others where we afflicted them with those things. Please do so throughout all creation and continue to finish. Amen, 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 amen. And now let's ask whether there are any critters, little entities, like archons, there are others, or there might even be, AI, they're like nanotechnology on the gross or subtle levels, and whether let's ask whether are we affected by those, yes or no? And we asked for clearing, throughout all creations to us and to those that we affected them with ourselves. Now, amen, 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 amen. And now we ask that any devices or methods not mentioned now or here, but that spirit knows, are harmful for us and they're illegal and against our free will, to please find out or move on, clear all, all throughout creation so that we can, have our expansion of consciousness and work for the light. So please do so now. Amen, 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 amen. And we also asked Lord Ganesh and other volunteers and experts to please ascend any soul fragments or ghosts into heavens that haven't made it yet, that are holding back pain issues. Now, amen, 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 amen. And we ask that our subtle bodies please be aligned. Now, amen, 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 amen. And now we will come to the promised progressive relaxation. Okay. So now just smile into your heart. And your heart is like a dimensional gateway, like a wormhole that connects you with your soul. Actually, that connects you with Creator, with all through creation, all the way to God. It's not that you are all of God, no, you're a tiny part and parcel of God. You're not the whole, for sure. So, but this is kind of accessed through the heart, all the traditions talk about it. So now, just focus into the heart and allow the love from the deeper dimensions to come forward from the heart. You might just imagine like lava flowing out from the depth of the earth, flowing out from the depth of creation into this dimension, into the physical realm. Now you imagine that this relaxing lava just flows from your heart and it flows up your chest. And it is releasing all the tension you're holding there in your chest area. It feels as if a heavy burden is being lifted off your chest. And also a lot of sadness just escapes the chest area, especially closer to your shoulders, up front. And you just let it flow out. And now this love from the depth of your soul flows into your throat. And you become aware of all the tension that you're holding there. And just let go. That feels good. And now gradually that relaxing power moves into your jaw muscle. And you just let go of your jaw, go slack jaw. And now that love from the depth of your soul also moves on into your tongue, relaxing your complete tongue, all those tiny muscles there. Just give them a break. Let that tongue go numb and limp. And now more of that loving heart energy moves into the ring muscle of your mouth. Yeah, your lips. Your lips become fluffy as you release all tension from them. Yeah, loose and fluffy. And now that more love from the heart and from the soul flows into your eye sockets. And it just nourishes your eyes, the ring muscles around the eyes. It just nourishes this, the tension that you're holding there. And it opens the energy vortexes in your eyes. And it helps you release the old tension of what you have seen, stuff that's hurting your vision. Yeah, release all the tension from that too, the psychological tension. Ooh, and now the relaxing power moves on into your forehead. And you just let go of all the tension in your forehead. Then it moves on into your scalp. All around to the back. This feels good. And into the neck. There's no need to hold on to all that tension. So we ask that any blocks in the neck just be cleared with this love from Creator, from Soul. And it just flows all through it. Reconstituting the divine blueprint. And now it just flows down into the shoulders. There's so much weight there and tension. And we let just go of that weight of responsibility and having to control stuff. Just let go of it, and give permission to this healing love from Source to just go and transmute all this tension there. Make it comfy, relaxed, smooth. Yeah. Relaxed, yes, very good. And there's more energy coming from the center of the heart, from the depths, and it's going straight into the spine and flowing gradually down the spine, vertebra by vertebra. And gradually it just creeps down and relaxes all those muscles, next to the spinal column, also next to the ribs. Just flowing into these muscles, nourishing them, relaxing them and balancing them and connecting them. And you just smile into those areas and send thanks and gratefulness into this. Now it's just moving into your lower back. This feels so good, yes. And now it's spreading out into the whole pelvic area, just all around, and nourishing it and creeping up again to the kidneys. The kidneys seem frazzled. All the adrenaline they have to squirt out. So now this love from Creator is just hooking them up with the love, with the nourishment, giving calm, strength. This feels good. Now from the kidneys it flows into the coccyx and into the genitalia. And all the tension that is being held there, also the shame. Let go of it. And the lust of others, let go of it. And the unwanted lust and attention for others, from others, we ask that it please be removed from throughout creation. And where we recorded others, we also ask that that please be cleared from throughout creation now. Ooh. Now, more source love flows into your thighs, and they just become heavy. They just seem to just move into the ground as you abandon any control and tension that you're still holding in there. Oh, this feels good. As the energy flows down the sciatic nerve on the side into your knee area, clearing all this trauma from the knees all the way onto here. Just have it nourished on all levels of all dimensions, And let it move down into your calves. Ooh, that feels good. And it moves into your ankles, but still it does a couple of rounds in your calves. There's deep-seated tension in there. And this energy just soaks in and does the long soak, just releasing it gradually. Yes. Now this healing, this love from source moves into your ankle area. There's so much stuff and trauma and misalignment there that is just being taken care of and brought into harmony. Just smile into your calves, into your feet, into your toes, and thank you. Thank them for all the daily service they're doing for you. And just send your smile into them and have them filled with this heavenly love. Ooh, yeah. And we ask that all your legs become nourished as needed. And now let's focus again as this love from your heart flows into your shoulders and into your upper arms. Your shoulder blades seem to be loosening up. One more time, there's a big sweep of all the stuff, all the cords that are there, that wipes them off. Complete permission to remove any cords there. Amen. And now the healing energy moves over your elbows into your lower arms and relaxes all those muscles that keep your fingers moving. And if you're a gamer or have a smartphone, just ask that special attention is given to the muscles that control your thumbs. And smile into those muscles and thank them for all the burdens they're carrying every day. Just let the beautiful healing energy soak in there. Amen, 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 amen. And it's releasing all the tension held in your wrist area. And now you can feel the chi is rushing through your fingers, cleansing all the stuck stuff, the trauma in your fingers from hurts, knuckle busting, and cold weather, bending, twisting. The fingers have to put up with a lot of stuff. And just thank them and feel how this healing energy just moves into them. Alright. And now just thank your whole body for being your servant, all this time. And let it know, that you're there to listen to it and to help it. Invite it to communicate with you from now on. Amen, 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 amen. And now I will count to 3 and you will be back in your physical body. And all your subtle body will be completely aligned. And you will be full of energy, yet full of peace and deeply relaxed. 1, 2, 3. Hello, my friends. Back to this reality, to the outer world. Probably many of you never make it that far, they pass out. Which is okay. So I strongly, advise you not to drive or operate heavy machinery right now. And if you really have to drive, you do this on your own risk. But let me just give you a tip here. Not that you should drive, but you do grounding, fast grounding, and this is a situation, you're gonna go into a street fight and you need all the chi you need, and you just go. Draw this in from Mother Earth. Or you have to dive for 20 yards and you need all the air you need, and you just draw her love into you, and that should connect you to the Earth Mother. So anyhow, drink a lot of water. If you get a headache, you have to drink more water. Parallel to the release of emotional and other toxins, your body will release chemical toxins, according to the principle, as above, so below.
If you liked this video, please click the subscribe button and hit the bell below to be notified about our next topic. We have more videos coming up shortly. We will be covering a variety of topics in these videos. Also, don't forget to click on the link below to get our free ebook. See you in the next video.